My personal background is a mixture. I was born in Belgium and I spent some time there in my youth. I spent a lot of time in the UK. I went to university in the UK and then I set up my own company. I was shortly after that bought out by Salomon Brothers. I went then into philanthropic work, did some very interesting projects in telecommunications. I also was the longest living foreigner in Russia because I wanted to work and help with perestroika and glasnost. And so I lived in Chechnya and I visited all the Caucasian republics. But from a very young age, I was very interested by the workings of the mind. Most probably that has a lot to do because I come from a very abusive background, emotionally abusive, physically abusive and sexually abusive. So I went to live in an ashram of the Ramakrishna mission, both in India and in France. I wanted to stay there and my guru then told me that I couldn't stay because my work needed to be done on the outside of the walls of the monastery, not on the inside. Having to survive what I would term today with my professional knowledge as extreme abuse, I can understand why my interest was in that, because it was a way of surviving and not becoming crazy or schizophrenic or kill myself. So from a very early age I understood the strength of the mind. I understood that everything happens in the mind and it is the mind that makes us do or not do things. So I was very interested in how that worked and that operated. Of course, coming from Belgium in the 60s and the 70s, there was very little education and very little understanding and very few outlets. And I presume that part of that curiosity of how the mind worked led me to go to India, led me to search in Eastern philosophies, spirituality, and trying to find what there was more in life. I think that the most important thing is that you do not fit the client into your box of knowledge. Your client is far too sophisticated, far too knowledgeable, far too precious to do that. So I don't think there's any particular one modality of therapy that can be applied, and that's why I believe very much in integrative therapy. I think it's extremely important that you can apply to a number of modalities in order to help the client, because that is the important bit, not what you know as a therapist, but what will suit the client and what is it that they need. I think from very early on, since 2001 when I started working in therapy, I felt that whilst we could contribute an enormous amount to people's lives by the 1 hour or the 2 hours a week or the 3 hours a week in therapy, in the therapy room, I had a very strong feeling that could we actually combine the number of hours we sit in the therapy room into a place that could offer all of that together in a short space of time. For me, this is you. This is who you are. You have learned to put on a different persona on top of that, which you thought was necessary. And the work that we're going to do here is bringing out that real persona, taking off what we term the fake self. It was about creating a safe place where people could come, feel that they were, first of all, safe, which gave them the opportunity to open up, and there providing the tools that they need to make a difference in their lives. Having the opportunity and the honor of having people come here from all over the world in order to help them become the best version of themselves is what makes this place truly paradise. They can be captains of industry, but they can also be a secretary in a company. They can be someone that is unemployed. They can be someone that has just started setting up a small and medium-sized business. They can be the person that runs billions for a family office. They can be the person that are ship owners. They can be global head of banking. It doesn't matter to us. What matters to us is that there's the willingness for people to be themselves, to discover who they truly are, and throw off their finally constructed image that they project onto the world and have decided that they want to be their authentic selves, be who they really are.